I just want to ask you, what would be your advice for people who are really already started up, start up a business, maybe struggling in their first couple of years, trying to get things going? What would be your advice for startups?
Okay, a lot of startup company perhaps may not have thought through the industry key competitive factors. Every industry has some what we call KCF, okay? And they are not thought through properly, and therefore at the end there is no profit proposition for themselves, no value proposition for buyers, and no people's proposition for the people who work for them, right? So therefore they will struggle. They will struggle for that period, in the initial period, and hopefully that struggle, they quickly understand and learn that any businesses, if you want it to survive, you got to have this alignment of the three things that I talk about. The buyers must have a reason to buy your service or your products, and it's not just like I buy and I just quench my thirst. It's not just so simple. It has to have a deeply embedded kind of satisfaction or value addedness in consuming and being involved in your product. Then your value would have your product would have a value proposition. Now, people working for you or people who are involved with you, and sometimes people don't think enough in that area, and therefore you are not able to retain employee, you're not able to get your business going. All right, so I say a lot of people don't give enough of thoughts into this three aspects of a business: a value proposition, whereby the buyer must really get value addedness in what you're doing, okay, or what you're selling. And the next thing is about people proposition. Why should people stay with you? And have you thought enough about the alignment of the staff needs and staff benefits, and and how the career will map up with you? And so, if you don't retain these people, sometimes your company will struggle. To really launch forward and make a lasting kind of a sustainable goal. Let's talk about the last aspect, and that is the profit proposition. An entrepreneur must be able to think through before he invests to make sure that his business will be able to survive in the long run, in what kind of profit level, and what kind of return. You need to calculate. For example, would your company be able to sustain only on EBITDA surplus, or would it be net profit surplus? They are company that even though you don't make the profit for 5 years, 10 years, but because EBITDA is positive, EBITDA is a surplus, therefore you are able to survive, to run it for a long time. And this kind of company, this kind of investment, of course, would mean that you have enough of funding for to grant the loan to the company, so that you're not worrying about interest, not worrying about amortization and the rest of it. That's why it's EBITDA surplus.
Yes.
And so these kind of thing you need to consider. Yeah. So if you are struggling, so the question is, why are you struggling? What is the reason that you're struggling? Out of the three that I talk about, analyze it could be one of them. All right. So if it is an issue of a non-profitability and therefore cannot survive, cannot move on, struggling every day to pay debts and stuff like that, then I think it's about time to ask the question whether this are you just simply covering holes that keep popping up, or you will be eventually be able to cover holes and do a much positive growth in the future. Then you can still continue to work on something like that. But if you are just covering holes, then I think there might be a need to talk to somebody and agree with you that this company have no future. Then you have to face face the reality of shutting it down. Yeah, because setting it up is one thing. It is equally smart to know when to shut down.